Mixer versus Twitch, the Showdown, and more coming up on today's episode of the latest in tech news. Hey, Gadget here. You're just in time for the latest episode of the world's only 3-in-1 show on tech, gadgets, and gaming news. That's right, this is the latest in tech news. My name is Taylor Merrick, and if you're new here, hit that follow button right now so that you don't miss out on the next episode, or any episode for that matter. We do this daily around here, and this isn't just one article we cover here. We cover a menagerie of articles. I know, big word. So I'd hate to have you miss out. By the way, if you are on the go and you can't tune in for the live show or watch the video, we do have podcasts available, latestinTechNews.com, for all your podcast subscription options. And if you do have time, but you didn't catch the live show, but you want to watch the video replay, youtube.com/TechNewsGadget is where it's at. As for our feature story today, we'll be taking a look at Twitch versus Mixer, the new streaming war. And it's a feature story by CNN. I guess it made big wig headlines when Ninja moved, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. And in terms of gadget news, we're going to be taking a look at the Logitech G915 wireless gaming keyboard. We'll also be taking a look at Huawei's futuristic foldable smartphone getting delayed for yet a second time, which leaves many people wondering, will we ever be getting an actual, decent, good, foldable smartphone in 2019, or is this just a pipe dream? We'll find out. We'll also be taking a look at Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser space plane could be launching astronauts one day. And finally, we got some gaming news, namely, well, for all you guys playing Fortnite who are complaining about mechs, apparently Epic said that it was designed so that casuals could finally get a win. You see, the chances of winning a game in Fortnite are 100 to 1. And if you're the one player who doesn't happen to be the decent player or a good player in your lobby, guaranteed you will get shot down. Even in teams or squads or duos or whatever you happen to go into, which is why you usually jump into creative, or you jump into a limited time mode or what have you. But before we get to all of that, let's head on over to today's segment in tech history. All right, today is August 15th, 2019. On this day in history, in 1998, the original iMac goes on sale. After 3 months of anticipation, the original iMac G3 goes on sale. The Bondi Blue iMac became well known for its colorful case, which bucked the industry norm beige. However, it is also known for being the first commercially successful computer to eliminate the use of legacy ports and a floppy drive. Widely criticized at the time for not including these older technologies by only featuring USB ports for peripherals, the iMac helped popularize the emerging standard even on Windows PC. And seriously, think about it. When was the last time anyone saw a beige PC since then? They've all been colored, and they've usually been standard black or a different color. Also, on this day in history in 1994, a programmer suggests bundling Internet Explorer in Windows 95 to try and probably boost market share. Microsoft Corp decided to work to incorporate an internet browser into its upcoming Windows 95 operating system in an effort to catch up to the internet bandwagon it's so obviously missed. On August 15th, Windows 95 programmer Benjamin Slivka sent an email to his coworkers suggesting a worldwide web browser as a feature for Windows 95. Microsoft had faced legal challenges for the way it bundled the rest of the project, Internet Explorer, with Windows software, but it finally worked out in itself, and thank goodness it did, because having some browsers on board helped to alleviate the fears of, oh my goodness, is this going to be another year where we're going to be sent multiple disks for installing AOL and having to use the AOL browser with dial-up tone. I remember those days. Do you remember those days? Let me know. Let me know. Comment down below. I remember those days quite well. I hate that sound. But with that out of the way, let's head on over to today's feature story. All right. The ultimate showdown. Twitch versus Mixer. Who's going to win? YouTube's like, hey, I'm over here. Facebook Gaming. Hey, I'm over here. What's going on? I don't know. YouTube's a big 800-pound elephant in the room, just walking around smashing everything nilly-willy, and they don't seem to care. Facebook's like, hey guys, I'm trying to be relevant, but I don't know exactly how. And then you got Twitch, the gorilla in the room, as it were, and then you have Mixer, the albeit a little bit smaller gorilla, yet a little bit more rascally. Yeah, but this article came up on CNN.com. I guess it's important. It's an age-old question: Mac versus PC, Android versus iPhone, Twitch versus Mixer. I love how they completely just went, oh, YouTube, bloop, Facebook gaming, bloop. What's that? Well, tech rivalries are decades old, but the newest battle in the industry is over how people watch and broadcast video games. Twitch has substantially grown its video game streaming business since its launch in 2011, and Amazon purchased the service for $1 billion in 2014. But rival Microsoft is ramping up its video game streaming efforts and may give Twitch a run for its money soon. A side note, if they can grab more big name streamers and buy them out from Twitch, that might actually start a domino effect. In late July, Twitch received some bad news. It lost Fortnite star Ninja to Microsoft's Mixer. After making millions of dollars from advertising and donations on Twitch, propelling himself and the platform into stardom, Ninja said he would stream exclusively on Mixer. He said he was returning to his streaming roots, a vague statement that many took to mean getting back to a smaller platform where he is the star. Was he upset because Tfue was one-upping him in terms of numbers? No, that couldn't have been it. No, I think for one of the reasons it brought him back is because a lot of the games that he played came from Microsoft, so he's very, very familiar with the company. He probably knows people in the company that we don't even know about. Albeit that, the other side of the coin is that there are features on Mixer that kind of buoy feeling, part of like the streaming roots community, like what got you interested in streaming, what kept you there, the positive community, the good side of streaming, not this negative stuff of debacles with that. But some people speculated he had been paid handsomely to make the switch, but Ninja's publicity team and Mixer declined to share the terms of the deal. Twitch told CNN Business in a statement that it wished Ninja the best of luck in its future endeavors. It later accidentally promoted a bad channel on Ninja's old page and decided to finally revert it, which was hilarious. I didn't cover any of that news because I figured it would work itself out to the default page that it goes to when you're offline anyways. Ninja's jump to Mixer brought the platform back into the spotlight after the company briefly caught attention as a young startup. The 3-year-old brand, which was acquired by Microsoft in 2016, has been flying under the radar. In a quarter ending in June, it commanded 112 million live hours, or just 3% of the total watched per platform by people all around the world, according to a Stream Elements report. Twitch commands 72.2% of all hours, with YouTube at nearly 20% and Facebook Gaming at 5.3%. Now, Mixer has more than 30 million monthly active users and has been growing rapidly ever since launch, the company told CNN Business. Twitch told CNN it has more than 15 million daily active users, but declined to share how many people use the service each month. Now, the total number of hours people spent watching Twitch streams dropped for the first time since January 2018, when Stream Elements began analyzing this data, but not by much. Twitch views slipped by less than 2%. Still, calling Mixer a threat to Twitch may be premature. Twitch has long been the incumbent and has a whole stable of high-profile, popular streamers. Mixer is a relative newcomer, said Joost van Drunen, co-founder of Superdata, a Nielsen company. Also, Ninja's current celebrity status should not be overvalued. To put it one way, Ninja is no different than Cardi B, and his fame is just as fickle. But in the future, Microsoft could be gaining momentum. One advantage: compared to Amazon, it has more of a command of an entire gaming ecosystem, essentially built into the Xbox platform. From console to game developers to cloud streaming, if you want to stream on an Xbox One, it only takes a couple of steps compared to streaming to a PlayStation 4 or Nintendo Switch, which would involve purchasing a capture card and downloading a third-party broadcasting service to record gameplay. Outside of that, watching streams on these systems, any of them, by far the Xbox is the easiest. Mixer comes built in standard. All you do is click, boom, Mixer's open. Hello. You see? Smart thinking. Microsoft could one day leverage its ownership of Mixer, Xbox games, the Xbox console system, and even its cloud streaming service, Project xCloud, to keep players captive in a single online destination. The company said it had nothing further to share on future plans, and obviously you don't want to give the cookie away, otherwise the kid will run off with it and break the cookie into a million pieces, stomp over it, and then eat it, and then blame you for the problems. Mixer has a smaller community than Twitch, granted. Streamers who talked to CNN Business said they found it easier to read and manage the general group chat. Twitch chat is famous for its emoji flying at breakneck speed across the page, but new streamers might find Mixer more appealing than Twitch because it's easier to be discovered with lighter competition. Mixer also tries to appeal to people who want a more heavily moderated platform and a dress code. For example, Mixer only allows streamers to wear crop tops on an 18-plus stream. Many have taken issue with the policy, and Mixer said it continues to listen to feedback to uphold a friendly and welcoming environment for our community. But I like how Mixer actually does the job of enforcing its rules, and it's what makes it more user-friendly for people of all ages, at least in my opinion. Now, like any online platform, Mixer has had its share of online harassment, but creators said it is quick to remove hate speech or bullying or harassment and stuff like that. So I like how it can just be clean. We can have normal conversations. Sure, trolls will come in. I've seen that from time to time, but all in all, Mixer is a fine for a platform. But the article goes on to say which Twitch's considerable lead in the streaming market, it will take a lot more than just one celebrity streamer to knock Twitch out of its spot in first place. But could this be at least the rumblings of a coming ultimate showdown? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section if you're watching this on video, and if you're watching on Mixer, right in the chat room. Works out great. Oh, by the way, yes, we do this as a live show on Mixer, 8 p.m. Central. I have an account on Twitch, but we don't stream there, if any, at all. Mixer.com/TechNewsGadget is where the party is at. But my thoughts, yeah, I would like to see some more competition. People put Mixer undervalued at like number 3 or number 4, usually bouncing between YouTube in like a solid second place, and usually beating out Facebook or just being beat out by Facebook in terms of live streaming content. But see, the thing is, there's features available on Mixer that are Mixer exclusive. Twitch doesn't have it. YouTube doesn't have it. Facebook doesn't have it. You'd have to stream on here just to see how it is. And if you are, I'd love to be able to chat and help you get up to speed on everything that's going on Mixer. Let me know. We are on Twitter at TechNewsGadget if you want to contact me that way. But yeah, those are my thoughts. But like I said before, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to let me know. And if you're excited, or if you're disappointed because you're like, well, Twitch wants to be number 1, so keep it number 1. Or, yeah, I'd love to see the underdog Mixer come in and, just knock them out. Be great. Be great coming showdown. That is for sure. All right. Time for some gadget news. I know you guys are like, well, why have you been so light on gadget news all this week? It's because gadgets move at a little bit slower pace than some news. Other news goes flying out the window. A lot of gaming news flies by all the time. But today's show is going to be a little bit more gadget heavy because we have some news that I think you might like. By the way, if you're interested in accessing the articles mentioned in today's show, head on over to TechNewsGadget.net, and there you can, well, click away to the articles to your heart's content and probably get lost for like hours at a time. I'm not kidding you. We got videos. We got audio. We got links. The only thing you can't do is color pages or move the kitchen sink. So gadget wise, the Logitech G915 wireless gaming keyboard, we got a review on that, and it's not my review, it's a review by IGN. So we'll be taking a look at the author's thoughts here on this article. Over the last year, Logitech has been on a mission to update nearly their entire lineup, updating plenty of classics and releasing loads of new products to stand alongside them and fill in some gaps. As a resident keyboard geek, when I heard they were releasing a new flagship gaming keyboard, he was intrigued. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at that keyboard, the Logitech G915 Wireless. It's super thin, features custom low-profile mechanical switches, light-speed wireless, programmable macros, and RGB lighting with a multi-host Bluetooth pairing. Is it worth the $249 sticker price? Well, after putting it through the paces, I certainly thought so, and not me, the person reviewing this. So let's take a closer look at exactly what makes Logitech's latest so great. And here it is on the screen. Ooh, if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see it on the screen, but if you're missing the whole visual element, you're probably listening via the podcast. it's okay. You can always listen to the rest of the show and then hop back onto the YouTube channel later to see what you might have missed. Now, as a successor to 2017's G910 Orion Spectrum, the Logitech G915 is remarkably different. Gone are the days when Logitech's flagships look like multicolored spaceships. Instead, the G915 is best described as being simply clean. Its design features a simple, rectangular case broken only by the waterfall volume roller. The top is brushed aluminum magnesium in gunmetal gray. Logitech has abandoned the stylized key caps on the gaming keys and instead gone with simple, custom, low-profile keycap that are sculpted to feature the same spacing you would find on a normal full-height keyboard and to naturally draw your fingertip to the center of the Switch. Now, while the design appears unadorned at first, it's clear a lot of time went into crafting and refining its presentation while still keeping key features, get it, like dedicated media controls and macro keys present and accounted for. So, the author here is a 30-something gamer who enjoys the design. It looks good without being unnecessarily edgy or distracting, and thanks to Lightspeed Wireless, it allows you to have one less wire running across your desk, which may or may not be a good thing depending on how you view wireless peripherals. The biggest change from the Orion Spark is the low-profile design. Here it is from a side view. Logitech has crafted one of the thinnest keyboards they've ever used this side of a Mac or laptop. The total height is only 22 millimeters. The case, however, is only 8 millimeters, which still leaves plenty of room for mechanical keys to travel. The ultra-thin design but satisfying key travel helps make the G915 feel like the best of both worlds. It also has a good amount of weight to it, weighing in at just over a kilogram. A steel bar runs under the top plate to ensure it always stays rigid with minimal flex. And oh look, they popped some of the keys off. To deliver a satisfying gaming and typing experience, Logitech has partnered with Kale to design the new GL switches found in the G915. They're a significant departure from the company's custom Roamer Gs. There's no more light pipe at the center of the Switch, but instead we have a design that allows for plentiful travel at only a fraction of the height. This partnership also allowed Logitech to design clicky, tactile, and linear versions of the Switch instead of being limited to the low linear profile red switches currently offered by Cherry. So, the only thing that was missing was a wrist rest, which really should be included at this price point, but for gaming, this design has obvious benefits. Since the keyboard is able to register key presses faster than a typical keyboard is objectively more responsive if your reaction time can keep up. In the middle of a heated battlefield match, obviously you want every advantage you can find. Having a keyboard that's more responsive than the competition is a plus, but you would be lying if you said it felt like it truly made you a better gamer. Your mileage may vary, but skill will trump a 0.5 millimeter any day of the week. So, man, look at that. It's nice. Apparently, Logitech claims in terms of battery life with the wireless, an astounding 135 days of use in between charging. With RGB lighting enabled, Logitech quotes 30 plus hours of usage. So, yeah. They also have, I guess, lighting tests that you can test out. Supposedly, the keyboard can last for up to 96 hours, even with an RGB color wave effect turned on. So you can obviously customize it how you want. And it got a bunch of settings here in terms of software that comes with it. The more significant addition is the ability to create animations. Logitech has several to choose from off the bat, with deeper options for customizations. You're given a timeline, transition effects, and the ability to paint the lighting in up to 70 frames. It's a simple and intuitive way to create full-blown animations like you've seen on Corsair's K-series of RGB keyboards. Not quite as powerful yet, with a few absent features, full effect layering, lighting tails, etc., but it is more user-friendly. So, gaming performance, well, they're interesting. Maybe we'll set up sequences and stuff, but yeah. If you are interested, the Logitech G915 wireless mechanical keyboard has a sale price of $250, and it arrives later this August. So there you go. There's all that information and goodies for you if you like gaming on a desktop, which obviously I do. I have my own setup. I should probably update it. It's probably years old at this point. Probably needs a swap out, but I don't know. I'll probably be fine. For the time being, that is, until it breaks. Alright, moving on to some more gadget news. This one's a little bit disappointing. You see, Huawei's futuristic foldable smartphone gets delayed for yet another time. For crying out loud. Samsung, you see, isn't the only company having trouble launching a foldable smartphone. Samsung's main foldable competitor, Huawei, is also delaying its foldable smartphone, the Mate X. Tech Radar attended a press event at Huawei's Shenzhen headquarters and learned the phone is, quote, unlikely to come out before November. This marks the second delay for the futuristic smartphone. The Mate X was originally announced as launching in the middle of 2019, and then shortly after, I guess there's some problems going on between China and the US. They might have to delay till September. It is theorized that the real reason Samsung rushed the Galaxy Fold to market with such inadequate testing was because, after investing millions into the development of foldable displays, it had its foldable display technology stolen and had to scramble to beat its competitors to market. And I'm gonna cough here really quick. Oh man. So it's kind of ironic then that the viable competitor Samsung has in the foldable space also delayed its device so much. So it kind of remains to be seen then at this point if you guys were both concerned about being first to market and being beat out by your competitors. It looks like it worked out for neither of you guys. I'm just saying, like, with all the push to try and get it out, maybe proof of concept would work first and then roll it out at scale. Huawei's Mate X is easily the most futuristic phone of the year, looks like so far, assuming it comes out this year. A giant 8-inch display wraps around the front and back of the device, and when closed, only the front half of the display lights up, giving you a 6.38-inch smartphone. Although, well, the futurism comes at a price. The Mate X has a breathtaking $2,600 price tag. That's $2,600 US. First generation trade-offs for early adopters will be numerous. Foldable OLED displays are in their infancy, and there are concerns about their ability to stand up to all that movement and the rigors of daily life, especially after the Galaxy Fold's delay. We also don't have a durable, flexible display cover yet. The Mate X display cover is plastic, and since it wraps around the entire phone, putting the phone down means placing the delicate plastic display cover directly on the table, where it can grind and scratch against whatever dust and dirt is on the tabletop and then leave it with scratches. Oh boy. So, yeah, maybe just finish up your research, do it right, and maybe not rush to market, I guess, is the real lesson that we're learning here, at least in 2019 so far, because when you rush a product because your technology got stolen or because you want to be the first. Talking about first, how's that 5G working out? Oh, what? It's not coming out until 2020? Like, on an official rollout type scale? Oh. So then what's the big hype? I don't know. Why don't you just wait for the technology to come out normally? Gosh. So yeah, hopefully, maybe you'll see it come holiday season. But if not, well, yet another phone, it appears, has bit the foldable dust. At least for 2019. All right, moving on to some more gadget news. Sierra Nevada's Dream Chaser space plane is preparing to carry cargo to the International Space Station by the spring of 2021, but that isn't stopping the company from continuing to prepare for human missions aboard the launch vehicle. Steve Lindsay, a former astronaut and vice president of space exploration systems for Sierra Nevada, told Space.com that the two versions of the vehicle, one for carrying cargo and the other for ferrying people, are really not all that different. Originally, Sierra Nevada planned to use Dream Chaser to shuttle human passengers to the ISS, but the company missed out on a 2014 contract award for NASA's Commercial Crew program, which instead went to SpaceX and Boeing. In 2016, NASA selected a space plane along with SpaceX and orbital ATK spacecraft to carry cargo missions to the space station by 2024. Lindsay said that Dream Chaser should fly in 2021, and they're continuing to work on the crewed program of it and doing ferrying people around it. Based on a modified Soviet design, Dream Chaser has half the wingspan of the Learjet 45, a small business aircraft. Like the space shuttle, Dream Chaser would be lifted into space on board a rocket, in the Dream Chaser's case a Vulcan Centaur rocket, and then land on the ground. But while NASA's space shuttle was tied to specific landing zones, Dream Chaser should be capable of landing on major runways that can handle typical large passenger airplanes. That flexibility, along with the plane's use of non-toxic fuel, should allow Dream Chaser to land on runways around the world, depending on what's needed at the time. Dream Chaser's 2021 mission will be the first of at least 6 orbiting flights made to the ISS, delivering equipment and supplies to the space station, returning experiments and other cargo back to Earth. Now, while the company is laser focused on the cargo missions, Lindsay said it is continuing to develop the passenger vehicle too. Cargo and passenger versions of the spacecraft are approximately 85% the same, with the passenger version requiring some different tests, including escape capabilities in the event of an emergency. So, and they said, we didn't get into this just to provide service to the space station, according to a report, and they apparently want to shuttle people too. In addition to flights to and from the ISS, Dream Chaser can also provide transportation into low Earth orbit, a region from 99 to 1,200 miles above the planet's surface. They are the unique microgravity environment in which objects experience a constant state of freefall, allows for a variety of scientific experiments that can't be performed on Earth. And they are hoping it soars one day beyond the ISS as well. And that's really all we know. But yeah, exciting. I don't know. If you're wondering, why do you always talk about like space stuff? Well, that's kind of always what's interested me. Like, that's kind of one of the big reasons I got interested in technology in the first place, was looking out into space and going, well, we landed a man on the moon and got everybody back home safely, and we have people up hanging, orbiting the Earth in spaceships, and I've always been a sucker for really good stories happening in space. I don't know, to scratch an itch there, so science fiction hasn't been really too far outside the realm of possibility, at least to some extent. Some of it's like, okay, you're pushing the limit a little bit too much, but I always like seeing what's next, what else can be discovered. So that's kind of why I like talking about this kind of stuff too. So yeah, but if you don't like it, just let me know. There is a comment box down below. Don't just hit the dislike button. Hit the like button and then leave a constructive comment. That's what it's for anyways, right? At least if you're watching on YouTube. Or donate me some sparks so I feel better if you're watching on a live show. That always helps. But yeah, I don't know. I've always enjoyed learning about space and space shuttles and spacecraft and everything that goes along with being in space and all the cool things that can go on with that. So that's kind of what furthers the technology advancement here on Earth. In a way, did you think about it? If you didn't, well, now you know. Alright, moving on to some gaming news and our last article of the day. Apparently, people are complaining about Fortnite's mech so much that Epic Games had to come out with a statement saying that, well, it was actually so that casuals could finally get a win. Fortnite players have been in an uproar since the start of the new season, which introduced mechs that are widely considered overpowered. At one point, detractors even got "remove the mech" trending on Twitter. Today, Epic defended why it's not getting rid of the mech, and it's largely for reasons you'd expect. In a blog post, Epic acknowledges the backlash, but gives a bit more insight into what it's trying to accomplish with the Brute. The Battle Royale developer says it's aware that some players have never managed to get a victory royale before, and the mechs provide a way to combat that problem. Although keep in mind, if you know what in the world you're doing, you can take down a mech with like a green AR. They don't have that much health. They just have 800 more health than the stupid ball does. The mission of Fortnite is to bring players of all skill levels together to have a fun experience where anyone can win, Epic wrote. Since the introduction of mechs in the last season, well, latest season being this one, Epic claims that lower skilled players have started getting more eliminations, while the number of kills from experienced players remained steady. So, see, for those of you who actually know how to play the game, you're not really being that much of a disadvantage. Who cares? And for those of you who are lower skilled, does it feel a little bit better now that you can get more eliminations and more of a chance of victory royale? I know I am. I can name on probably one hand the number of victory royales I've gotten playing any amount of Fortnite for any length of time. It's that little. So yeah, the developer even shared an infographic that purported to show the number of average mech eliminations per game, and it's much lower than the internet makes it sound. So I don't know exactly why you guys are whining about it. You see, in solos, average brute eliminations per game is 4. In duos, it's a little over 6. In squads, in Team Rumble, it's roughly around 6. And in arena solos, it's like 1. And arena trios, it's like 1.5. So I don't see what you guys are really whining about. Since their addition, Epic has tweaked the functionality of mechs, first adding a targeting laser with audio cues and later decreasing their spawn rate in competitive modes like Arena. given the statistics, it seems that mechs aren't really overtaking the Fortnite island as you might complain about. Root encounters should feel like a unique engagement and not be the dominant experience during a game. We regularly have and will continue to release content that shakes up gameplay in Fortnite in unexpected ways, the company continued. And we're committed to providing a constantly evolving, entertaining, and fun experience to all players, not just... well, okay, this is where I'm going to say right now, not just you guys who know how to play Fortnite properly. So I don't understand what you guys are complaining about. Every game company has done this. Even League of Legends, they'll change it up and it'll be like, oh no, the meta's broken. What do we do? Well, you gotta adapt and modify your technique to go along with it and still remain on top. And it's not going to be that much of a learning curve for you guys unless they completely shake everything up. Then that'd be stupid, and I don't think a company does that too often unless they really want to shake things up. But when it comes to Fortnite, what's the new meta? Oh, whatever they just added to the game, that's the new meta. So, I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. This isn't the first time public opinion has been wildly out of tune with what actually happens in the game. In April, Fortnite fans demanded that Epic revert the game back to an earlier patch, only for Epic to reveal that the beloved patch was played less overall. So, hey guys, the company knows what they're doing, so just let them do what they do best, and you just enjoy playing the game. And if you don't, I don't know, go play a different game. Or how about try this out? Go outside for a walk or do something entertaining outside, like anything outside. You know, nature. It's been here since before you were, and it'll be here long after. Who cares about the video game you're currently drooling over? Take some time, spend it outdoors. That's my PSA for today. And I think that kind of wraps up my thoughts and opinions. Obviously, if you have your own thoughts and opinions on it, let me know on Twitter at TechNewsGadget, or you can just drop it in the comment box down below. And with that, that wraps up this episode of the latest in tech news. Thanks for tuning in. New episodes every weekday. The latest in tech news can be found on every major platform, including Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Stitcher, Overcast, and more. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to let us know by clicking that like button and by leaving a comment if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening via the podcast today, head on over to Apple Podcasts and give us a review, or give us a review on whatever app you're currently listening on. Also, double check that you are subscribed so that you don't miss the next episode. I'm your host, Taylor Merrick, and remember, for the latest in tech, gadget, and gaming news, visit TechNewsGadget.net. Pretty much keeping awesome, guys, and I'll see you on the flip side. No, you messed it up!
Dang it! Oh, I messed it up!